What's going on, guys? Here's Captain Gonzo with that Flight Sim channel once again. And check it out, guys. We're back on DCS. As you can see, with my lovely, excited pilot here who is eager, who wants to hop in. We are on the Strike Eagle. Now, for those of you that follow our page on YouTube, you might have seen me post a recent photo here, maybe a couple of weeks ago, talking about how we were working on a video with the F-15, and unfortunately had to put that one on the back burner. But I figured today I can kind of get back in the saddle of DCS and start tackling on the F-15 a little bit more. So this video will cover a quick walk around of the aircraft and the exterior model, and then we'll jump right in and get her started. Let's switch the camera here. Let's start taking a look at our beautiful aircraft here. Oh yeah, I wish I got paid to do this every day. So let's start moving towards the front of the aircraft. Check that nose, that radome cover, make sure everything looks good. I'd say that's good. Like the faded textures there, that's pretty awesome. We're gonna take a look here at the nose landing gear assembly and the strut. I don't see any leaks. Nothing out of the ordinary. I'll go ahead and take a look into my left engine inlet here. Ramps look good. No obstructions, no birds. No sleeping technicians back there or crew chiefs. Let's check our conformal fuel tanks and weapon stations. Yeah, that looks good, man. Our launchers here, which of course is on an empty bird, so I don't have much to show you guys. Fortunately, I'm still figuring out how to set the mission editor to be able to load weapons into static aircraft, but I'd say that's a good looking bird. However, I'm gonna have a talk with my crew chief. Where the heck are my chocks, man? That's not cool. Alright, we'll keep walking, checking the leading edge here. Yep, I'd say that's a good looking wing. Nav light looks good. Let's check our trailing edge here on the flaps and our ailerons. Yeah, that's good. Checking our horizontal and vertical stabilizers. Around the back here. Let's check out the business end of the aircraft. There we go. Let's keep going. There's the famous turkey feathers, as they are known. I love how DCS and RAZBAM modeled the distinct noise they make. I'll show you guys later when we're fired up. As we start applying power, you'll obviously hear the turkey feathers or the nozzle ends there start to kind of open and close, depending on the thrust that we're applying. And there's a distinct noise that it makes. It's kind of like a squeak. Yeah, you can actually hear that in real world too stuff. So if you've ever been around an Eagle, whether it's the Legacy on the Charlies or the Strike Eagles, you'll definitely know what I'm talking about. But rear end looks good. Let's keep walking. This side of the bird looks good too. That's pretty awesome. Look at the level of detail, guys. I mean, what else could we expect in DCS World? Nothing less. Now keep in mind that the movements of the pilot on the ground are through the joystick, so I'm just ever so slightly applying forward and left and right motion, or force I should say, on my stick, making sure that I'm not over traveling or stepping outside of the aircraft envelope here. Alright, we're working our way through the right wing leading edge, checking the launchers here on the right wing stations. Let's go ahead and turn the camera. Again, main landing gear over here looks good as well. There's the M61 Vulcan 20mm Gatling gun that is hidden. It's right there along engine number 2 inlet. That looks good. Again, no crew chiefs or mechanics hiding in there, taking a nap, or doing any other kinds of non-official activities. You can fill in the blanks for that one. We're checking our formation lights here. All panels look good. Everything is hatched. Pitot tube here is clean. I don't see any paint over that panel. I guess that's good. Our antennae group here looks good. And on the other side of that nose landing gear door, everything looks to be in place. And again, I don't see any pins. I don't see any remove before flights, streamers, or anything like that hanging off the aircraft. So we're gonna finish this walk around. Come back to the nose. Let's take in the views here and appreciate the views of what the Strike Eagle is. Always been a fan of the Strike Eagle. Probably one of my favorite fighter aircraft. But I'd probably say that about every other fighter jet, so, you know, take that with a grain of salt. But anyways, guys, that is the walk around. We just did a quick unofficial walkthrough. Unfortunately, haven't figured out how to get the character to squat, if that's even possible, to see if we can go underneath the aircraft and really make this a more intuitive and immersive walk around. But I'm gonna go ahead and pause here, and then we'll pick right back up in the cockpit. Alright guys, welcome aboard the Strike Eagle's business end here in the pilot seat. As you can see, we are cold and dark. And you might notice that the bird that we were walking around was one of those static ones over there. So I may or may not have had a ground injection from this current parking spot and, you know, walked over and try to hijack another aircraft, but we won't admit to that. We will neither deny or confirm that. So just in case anybody's listening. But anyways, guys, let's get this party started. The Strike Eagle is not all that difficult to get started, but we'll see if what I'm saying is true, because it's been a few days here since I've tried it. So first thing we're going to do, let's set our anti-collision light on so that it is ready when we fire up. All these sensors and stuff will keep off right now. Let's take a look here at our forward left consoles. Let's go ahead and stop the transfer of the conformal tanks. Let's turn that on now. Let's see what else we got. Anti-skid is on. Okay. Let's go ahead and get our oxygen on. Let's go ahead and get our left and right engine generators on. Engine control switches to on. And we'll get the left and right engine masters on. Now, unlike other aircraft, we do not have an APU on board. We do have a jet fuel starter, which is pretty much started with a bottle of compressed air. So what we'll do is turn this on. We'll get the aircraft ready to start up. So just give it a few seconds there. And I think I'm here waiting for the green light, but I think I actually have to go through and pull the handle. So before I do that, let me go ahead and reduce the throttles back down to cutoff. Let me take one quick look around here before I commit. Let's go ahead and pull that handle. There we go. You can hear the jet fuel starter coming alive. There's the green light, letting us know that it is ready. So now what we're going to do is we're going to reach behind engine number 2 here, and we're going to hold that finger lift, and it will start the startup process for engine number 2, and shortly thereafter we'll see the engine indication display here come online. Let's take a look. There it is. And we can hear that number 2 engine's firing up now. I love the sounds, man. There's the engine indication. I believe we're waiting to somewhere between 30 to 40% RPM. Actually, I believe it was 26. And then we're going to set the throttle back up to idle. And we should see that start to rise here shortly. There it goes. Now let me make sure that my inlet ramps are auto. Start seeing that ramp drop down here shortly.
Low altitude.
There it goes.
Low altitude.
That's a good number 2 engine start. Bring back power to idle. And we're actually going to repeat the step for engine number 1. There we go. Look at the airframe vibrating as we're starting to shake things up. Now, when you do the training missions with the Strike Eagle, it wants you to verify your your fire test here every time
Warning,
you're engaging the
AMAD,
engines
fire.
test.
Warning, AMAD, fire. Warning, engine, fire, left. Warning, engine, fire, left. Warning, engine, fire, right. Warning, engine, fire, right. AB burn through, left. AB burn through, left. AB burn through, right. AB burn through, right.
As you can see, that's why I'm not testing it for this demonstration video, because it is annoying. It's really loud. But yes, every time you're going through the startup sequence for each engine, it wants you to run through that test. Just make sure that everything is good in case there is a fire on the startup. But there's engine 1 coming to live. Watching that ramp. It should start dropping. There we go. There's 60%. Let's go ahead and reduce power to idle. And there we go, guys. So the JFS has already been extinguished. It's off. Let's go ahead and lock this canopy forward. There we go. That's going to make it a lot easier for the video. Okay, we've got the canopy set. Let's go ahead and arm our ejection seat. Let's turn on our terrain following radar. Let's set it to standby. And let's make sure our radar altimeter is on. Our radar, we can send it to standby for now. We won't be using it. And then for the INS, which we need it to align, we'll set that to align here. Let's go ahead and make sure our radio is on by making sure the microphone power is on. And let's set up our UHF, VHF antenna as well. Now that we've got the engines running, let's go ahead and set our CAS system for yaw, roll, and pitch. And we can return the conformal tanks back to normal. Here's our taxi and landing light, which we'll keep off until we're ready to start taxiing. Now, let's get some avionics on here. So let's get the brake hold on. Let's clear the master. Let's go ahead and get our hood and our EU upfront controller on here. There we go. Let's go ahead and get our I believe they're, I forget what the name are for these displays. I still call them MFDs, but some of you real fans can come out and correct me if you want to. Okay, so we need a little bit of airflow in here because it is getting a little hot. So let's look for the bleed. Air conditioning is on both. And let's go ahead and turn this. There we go. So it's an auto, and you can hear the air venting through the cabin now, so that we're not just sitting in here roasting. All right, now we got to uncage our backup attitude indicator. There she goes, nice and level. And now, guys, all that we have to do is sit here on the ground and wait till we see this number start to go down, which is letting us know that the INS is still aligning. So obviously, if you move during this process, you throw the INS alignment off, and you'll probably have to start all over again. So what I'll probably do is edit the video after this and just come up to when we're ready to go. So let's go ahead and do that now. Okay, so here we are, guys. You can see on the heads-up display now we've got GC and the word OK. That's telling me that I am good on my INS alignment, and I can go ahead and throw that to nav. There we go. So that's all set. So now for our displays. On the left display, let's get our HSI up. And on the right, let's go ahead and get our ADI. On the bottom page, let's see what I'm going to put here. Set up our TSD. That's a good reference there. I'm going to go ahead and turn my radios on. Got good radios. We're not going to really be tuning and talking to anybody today, so this is pretty good so far. I'm actually going to go ahead and give my crew chief a call and let him know that I am ready to have the wheel chocks removed. So let's do that now.
Chief, remove the wheel chocks.
Copy. Wheel chocks are now removed.
Okay. Crew chief has confirmed. Wheel chocks are removed. So if he's lying, I am going to come back and have a little chat with him. But I think we're ready to go for right now. So let's check everything else. Make sure we don't have any indicators on. Nothing is catching my attention right now. Our indicator lights here are all off, showing us no panels, or excuse me, no warnings or cautions are active. Pitot heat, we will leave that off for now until we're ready to get up into the air, but it's a relatively warm day here, so I'm not too concerned with that right now. Precision lights and all that can be found right here behind the throttle controls. And I'm going to turn that to position 3. I'll keep the vertical tail floodlight off for now because we're in daytime. And whoops, sorry about that. That's track IR just doing its thing. And we'll keep formation lights off as well. I think we're ready to boogie, guys. So let's go ahead and start taxiing out of here, and we'll get airborne in a few minutes, and we'll end the video there. Alright guys, so here we are taxiing. Now, of course, the first things we did there was to get on the brakes, make sure the brakes are responding appropriately. And one thing in particular about this aircraft compared to the A-10, the F-16, and the F-18, and even the F-14 is that you already have nose wheel steering enabled on the ground. You don't have to press and hold or anything like that. However, when you do have to make some tighter turns, let's say you're coming into your parking spot, you do want to hold down the pinky button on the joystick, which I do have set to my current HOTAS setup, and that allows for better steering, for more sharper turns. So like right now, I'm going to demonstrate a left turn, right turn. Again, that's without holding down the pinky button. However, watch what happens when I hold down the button. Look how much sharper it is. Going back to the right. And I'll do a demo on the outside for that as well, so you guys can get a look. So again, this is normal steering. And now, let's check out with the pinky button held down. So, as you can see, very useful to know that. So that if you're ever taxiing and you have to make a sharp turn, you don't forget about having that pinky button, which is just behind the stick over here. You can barely see it. Make sure you have that mapped to your HOTAS or whatever flight device you're using. But anyways, right now, let's go ahead and switch to nav mode. There's my Wizzo, Weapon Systems Officer. Wow, he doesn't look like he slept well last night, man. He looks a little rough. I hope he's okay. Let's get our taxi light on. Forgot to do that. And of course, as you can see, we are here in the Marianas map, which is Anderson Air Force Base in Guam. So it's beautiful scenery. I love the scenery, is one of my favorites, and I love just taking off out of here and doing some crazy stuff around the islands. And of course, remember guys, one of the things of that flight sim channel that we always say is this is our sim, our ramp, our aircraft. We do what we want. So we're not talking to ATC, we're not talking to anybody. Alright, so we're about to take runway 6 right here for the departure. Let's get our landing light on, high visibility. Flaps are in the down position, so we are good for takeoff. And as you guys have already probably seen from my exterior shots, we are carrying 2 of the 610-gallon drop tanks and 4 AMRAAMs. So we're not the heaviest right now, but because this is for fun and show, we will definitely be doing a full burner takeoff roll here, and then seeing where my little brain takes me from there. Alright, we're on the brakes. Do one last wipe of the controls. Everything feels good. Okay. Let's get our pilot model back in here. There we go. Makes it a lot cooler. Start getting on the throttle. Full power. There's the burners. Let's go. Applying backward pressure. We're airborne.
Pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up.
A little bit of oscillation there. Just gonna build some speed up. We're hugging the deck. Alright, boys and girls, strap in. Let's have some fun. There we go. We probably overstressed the airframe, but we do what we want. My Wizzo is still not impressed. Thanks, buddy. Really appreciate the help. And there you have it, guys. Quick little pre-flight startup procedures. Of course, take everything with a grain of salt. Go through the training modules that RAZBAM has included here with the Strike Eagle. And definitely feel free to drop some comments and let me know what stuff that I need to work on, what I can maybe start implementing into these little tutorials that we put together. But again, just wanted to do a quick video, get you guys in on starting the Strike Eagle, and at least getting you to the point where you can just take off and have everything up and running. So this is Captain Gonzo with that Flight Sim channel, guys. Enjoy the scenes and the views, and as always, happy flying.